1, 2. All right. Hey, everyone. So I'm John. I'm building Clams with my friend Aaron. And I think we can summarize what we're building right now like this. It's like QuickBooks, but for Bitcoin. So the accountancy problem for Bitcoiners, anyone who is in this space will know Bitcoin takes many forms. So we have on-chain, we have off-chain, and then we have things like these new models that are starting, like value for value. And when you factor in that in most jurisdictions, every spend is a taxable event, it becomes a bit of a headache if you want to remain compliant. Of course, that's up to you. But we believe it's about time that the best money had a dedicated accounting tool. And if you look at what people are doing right now, like myself and other devs, we're writing custom scripts to convert our Bitcoin data into a format that can be used by something like QuickBooks or Coinly or these crypto apps. And ultimately, it's inadequate. You lose the guts of a weekend or more. It's not private. You have to dox yourself to these companies, which is ridiculous. And then maybe you could opt to just print a few CSVs and hand it to your accountant. But that's going to take him a lot of time and it's going to be very costly. So it's not going to work. So we're going to fix this by focusing on our company first and foremost. We want Clams to operate on a Bitcoin standard, and we want individuals to operate on a Bitcoin standard. And really, that's a focus for us. And we see the accountancy problem as a hindrance to kicking off circular economies. If you talk to any small business, any medium-sized business, any corporation, they are using software like QuickBooks. So why shouldn't we too? We should have dedicated software for our money. It's better money. It needs tooling to support it. We want to be able to make better decisions, make forecasts about our business, visualize our SATs flow, generate reports. And we believe we can do this in a way that's going to maintain your privacy. So first off, this is just a brief overview of how this app works before we get into the demo. So the first functionality is called sync, and as the icon here suggests, it's really about bringing all of this data across all of these wallets into a local hub on your device. And maybe you have some Bitcoin on your Strike exchange. Maybe you have some in Unchained. Maybe you have some in Albi and you've been using it for zaps. Like, think about all of that data all over the place and really just making connections where possible, or transferring CSVs, getting it into the one place. And then the second stage is the enhancement of this data. And this is really where we lean into, accounting as a practice, like double entry bookkeeping. We'll convert all of this data into journal entry. So it's credits and debits and into the various buckets that you can expect, like income, expenses, all that good stuff. And then visualizations, which is really, this is going to help you make better decisions as a Bitcoin business or as an individual or family who are operating on a Bitcoin standard. And then reports, obviously, cap gains, profit and loss, and we'll have all the data locally, so we can really customize as much as possible here to your needs with these reports. So let's kick off a quick demo here. So a bit of background: we started building this right when Top Builder started. So we're about 8 weeks into the build. We really only turned up with an idea, but we had been thinking about this problem for some time. And so if we take a look here, we have 2 connections supported right now. Our background is working on core Lightning, so we started there because that was really our expertise and we wanted to solve this problem for ourselves. So I'm going to make my first connection here. I'm going to add a label. So maybe take an example of someone like Carr at PlebLab. Maybe he has a personal node, so he's going to hook that up first. So I'm just adding some credentials here. And for anyone not familiar with what I'm doing here, I'm just getting some access from my node so that I can read from it. Like, I'm not interested in spending from the node or sending sats or creating invoices. It's simply just give me the data that I need so that I can convert it into journal entries and look at the balance over time. So that's now all done. We can jump back to the dashboard now. And this is a mainnet node. We can see the cost basis for the node. It's been running since November 2022. We can see the balance in sats. And this balance was not actually calculated by just querying the node. This was actually derived from all of the credits and debits over time. So the data is now living in the app. This is the balance. And then we can do things like, let's see the balance, just Lightning balance for the node. Let me see just the on-chain balance over time. Maybe we want to see on-chain fees. Maybe we want to see on-chain fees since the start of March. Okay, nothing there. Let's go back to the start of Q1. Okay, this is what we spent in Q1 of this year. Now, the power of this app really starts to shine when you make another connection. So let's make a connection to an LND node. So one sec. So again, thinking of someone like Carr running a Bitcoin business, maybe this is the company node. So he wants to have them all in the one place, all his data. So I'm getting the credentials here. Let's call this one business. So we're making the connection, and then we can kick off the sync. And the other thing we do in this process is we query the Bitcoin price on the date of every transaction, and that's how we can calculate the cost basis. So now we have a unified balance across all your sats. And again, there's your personal node, and we can look at, again, let's just peep on-chain fees across both nodes. Maybe you want to see that. Maybe you got 5 nodes. Maybe you got 2 nodes running in voltage and 1 at home. This will all be super simple. Get it all into the one place. Keep the data local. You don't have to dox yourself. And if we take a look at this other feature we're still working on here, this is transactions. This is kind of like your own little ledger over time. And these tags are added automatically during the enhancement process. So for example, here's one actually from 2 days ago. It's tagged as income. It was related to your personal node. It's connected to the Lightning wallet. So it's a credit to the Lightning wallet, and it was tagged as routing income. Similarly, we can go down this. There's a business node transaction here. It was expenses. It was related to the on-chain wallet. It was fees, and it was on-chain fees. So this is how we have all the stuff in these buckets. We can really use this SatsFlow dashboard to surface loads of insights, help you as a business make better decisions. So back to talking about the market. Like I say, we're super early in the build here, but we've taken some time to think about the markets that we could move into here. Obviously, accounting software is a huge market. This is the QuickBooks and the Xeros of this world. But we also have apps like Mint, which are more for personal software, for personal finances. They're gaining a lot of traction. So we feel like as Bitcoin adoption grows, more and more people move part of their life or all of their life onto a Bitcoin standard. I think we can sit somewhere in the middle here to just help people ask questions, I guess, of their personal finances and of their business. Just simply, how are we doing? Like, I speak from experience. This is not easy to do right now with Bitcoin, and it really shouldn't be that way. Again, just an indicator of adoption of this technology. It's early days, but the time is now. We need this type of software so that if you're operating a business, like if you're a startup in this space, we feel like we can remove this burden. Like there's no way that a great engineer should be spending a weekend or more writing scripts to do their taxes every year. It's just ridiculous. So the roadmap for us right now, the first half of this year is really about getting the MVP out the door. We want to have as many wallet connections as possible connected to the app. Ideally, we can get some exchanges in there just so that helps us to track your sats flow from when you first received it. A lot of people obviously purchase their Bitcoin, but if you get paid, that could maybe be the first entry in the journal for you. And then we're going to do some beta testing. We've already lined up some founders. If you are a founder and you'd be interested in trying this out, yeah, please come say hello. We'd love to add you to the list. And then later in the year, we're going to get into the paid features. We want to have a pro version of this app, and it's going to include things like reports, but also something like Teams that have been released by Zapright. We think that makes perfect sense as a paid option, but also the data set that you're building in the app, because you're able to customize it and add your own tags. We imagine that data set will become more powerful, more important to you over time, more valuable. So another paid feature could be perhaps just the ability to back that up and transfer it to other devices. So we're still ideating here. It's early days for us. And so some background on us just to wind it up here. So yeah, like I say, I'm John. I'm building this with my best friend, Aaron. We were in a band together. We lived in New York for many years, and fell down the Bitcoin rabbit hole. And since then, we learned to code, and we have 14 years collective startup experience between us, albeit working for other people. So we felt the time was now to try going out on our own and doing something. And we were always looking for an angle in the Bitcoin space, and really it was Lightning that inspired us. So we built Clams Remote, which some people may know. It's an interface for core Lightning, and it's actually the first UI for Bolt 12. We maintain a handful of open source libraries for Lightning. They're used by Albi and by Core Lightning in their Umbrella app. And we're also OpenSats grantees, which has been great. It's been great for us to, give us a bit of initiative to keep going. So we're very grateful for that. So that's everything. You can find out more about us at clams.tech. And again, yeah, come see me. I'm around the next couple of days. Thank you.
Let's give it up for Clams.